he coming to participate in the Queen's Golden Jubilee. He's trying to find favor with her. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. To me, that's kind of dry stuff. I don't know. It might be something I might watch at home later. The Florida Project opened today. Rotten Tomatoes gives this one a 97%. I know. Isn't that scary? Have you seen zombie ponies? Oh my God, they're creepy. They're creepy, Chris. You got to see zombie ponies. The Florida Project offers a colorfully empathetic look at an underrepresented part of the population that proves absorbing even as it raises sobering questions about modern America. Not too sure about that one either. The Florida Project tells the story of a precocious 6-year-old and her ragtag group of friends whose summer break is filled with childhood wonder, possibility, and a sense of adventure while the adults around them struggle with hard times. You should have had that open in the summer if it's about summer break. Silly me. Fish sticks for everybody. Woohoo. Better Watch Out came out today. Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 88%. The critics have not commented on this movie yet, but Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 88%. This holiday season, you may be home, but you're not alone. In this fresh and gleefully twisted spin on home invasion horror, babysitter Ashley must defend her young charges when intruders break into the house one snowy night, or so she thinks. So that might be one to check out. I don't know if some of these, I don't know. I'd have to go on Discount Tuesday with $5 movies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't know if I'd actually pay the money to see these. Another one opened today. We're All in Cell Block 9. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 97%. So, and the critics, We're All in Cell Block 99 rides a committed Vince Vaughn performance into the brutally violent and undeniably entertaining depths of prison set grindhouse genre fare. And this movie's about a former boxer named Bradley. He loses his job as an auto mechanic, and his troubled marriage is about to expire. He's at a crossroads in his life, and he feels that he has no better option than to work for an old buddy as a drug courier. This improves his situation until the day he finds himself in a gunfight between a group of officers and his own ruthless allies. When it's over, Bradley is hurt and thrown in prison, and his enemies force him to commit acts of violence that turn the place into a savage battleground. So that might be interesting. I don't know. We shall see. Not a whole lot else coming out. Dementia 13. And I think I want to see this one. If you have not seen the older version, you're missing out. I grew up on that. That was one of my first movies, horror movies that I saw was Dementia 13. Like I said last week, my mom used to get me up when my dad worked third shift to watch horror movies with her, and this was one of them. So I'd really like to see what they did with this. A vengeful ghost, a mysterious killer, and a family where everyone has a secret converge one night in one night of terror. In this remake of Francis Ford Coppola's first feature film. So I think it'd be worth a watch. If you have a discount day, go then. You seen the original, Lori? Yeah, I really liked it. So imagine it being one of my first horror movies. Maybe, 8 or 9, so interesting. Just a bunch of movies coming out nobody's heard of. Architects of Denial, Barracuda, Traffic, City of Rock, Chef, I don't know. Never heard of these, never seen anything. Demons was one. No Rotten Tomato meter yet. 8 years ago, Father Colin Hampstead oversaw an aborted exorcism that resulted in the gruesome death of a 17-year-old in Louisiana. The deceased girl's older sister, Kaylee, grew immediately attached to Hampstead and sought him out, at first for grief counseling and then for much more. 8 years later, Hampstead has left the priesthood and become a celebrated fiction writer, specializing in stories about the occult. And he and Kaylee, now his wife, have a beautiful daughter and run a well-known bed and breakfast. So they, when the couple agrees to host a wedding, what begins as a big chill-type reunion turns into something much more macabre. So that kind of looks interesting. I'm surprised they didn't give this one. How many did Mountain get? Only 46%. Oh, Carrie was your first one, Michelle? Yeah, I bet you wanted to go to prom, didn't you? Not. 46% on The Mountain Between Us. I'd give it some time, though. I really think that's going to be one of the better movies out. And we're having a party tonight. So, but that looks really good. That looks really good. What do you think of Idris's little fetish there, Lori? So, that one looked really good. Demons. So that's just a little tidbit about Idris Elba. And don't forget next Friday. Yeah, it does look really good. Of what? He has a foot fetish, Lori. Idris Elba has a foot fetish. So a little bit of info there that you probably didn't need to know, but I told you anyway. So Blade Runner, I would say, would be one of the better ones to see. Better watch out. You got a few coming up. I'm looking forward. He'd hate me. Now, Kate Winslet said she had really ugly big feet, so she thought he wanted her to wear socks to cover them up. Killer Corn. Oh, yeah, you know it would. So, yeah, he's got a foot fetish, so there you go. Little known fact. She said she has really big, ugly feet, so. Yes, I do. Actually, I do. And don't forget, next week is Friday the 13th. Ooh, very cool. Now, I would have thought there were more movies coming out then, but I don't know I don't think that's a remake. That came out today, Demons. So, the only one I see promising next week is Happy Death Day. And that's and the reason Chris was saying it's like Groundhog Day is because it keeps repeating itself. So, in this mystery thriller, it follows a college student reliving details from the day of her murder, and she works to discover her killer's identity. So, she is a queen bee of her sorority, controlling those around her without getting too close. Things seem right on track until she's murdered. Somehow, she wakes up the next morning only to find out it's not the next morning. It's the day she was murdered again. Forced to relive the same day over and over again until she figures out who is trying to kill her and why. She has far more suspects than allies in this game of cat and mouse. Hopefully she figures out the key before she runs out of lives. Of Demons, Ike? Let me see what's going on with that. Okay. Yeah, definitely Groundhog Day. Happy Death Day. Yeah, that looks kind of interesting, actually. Um, Demons 19. Let's see. Night of the Demon came out in 80. Demons came out in 85. Um, I don't think. Let me see if there's a remake. Let me check. They remade everything else. I will check on that. No, Demons. Horror Groundhog Day. Yeah, absolutely. Where they're trapped in a movie theater. Um, no. Let's see. Let me see. I remember that one, Ike. I do. Um, yes, that's it. Yeah, Demons. 1980s, 85. Released in the height of the 80s horror. In the film, a group of people are trapped in a large movie theater in West Berlin that is infected by ravenous demons who proceed to kill and possess the humans one by one. A sequel was released just a year later. Okay. 30 years after the iconic films were released, there's a behind-the-scenes chatter of a reunion. I don't think that was the same one, though. Let me see. They're talking about remaking it. Demon 2000. What? Yes. Let me see. No. This is the one in 2016. A guy receives a piece of land as a gift from his upcoming wedding. While preparing the property to build a home for his new family, he finds human remains in the ground. He decides to keep the discovery to himself so that all the wedding arrangements can go as planned. However, the deeper he tries to keep a secret, the more he seems to be under control of something or someone. So that's the Demon movie from 2016. And they're talking about a remake of Demons. Oh, I know. Oh, really? Let me see. Demons 2017. Let me see. I thought we talked about this one. I thought we did. Yeah. Yeah, I just talked about it. It's about the exorcism. I just talked about it, Michelle. 8 years ago, Father Hampstead oversaw an aborted exorcism, and the deceased girl's older sister, Kaylee, her and Hampstead get together, and they are going to have this wedding at their bed and breakfast, but there's more to that than you think. Yeah, I just talked about it, honey. That opened today. Yes. Yeah, I just talked about that with the exorcism. Okay, in a minute here, I'm going to be talking about, well, in a minute, yeah, that's the one that opened. So no, they have not remade that one, Ike, but that's in talks. So hopefully, maybe, but yeah, they keep remaking everything. Oh my God. Okay, so that was Happy Death Day. That opens the Friday the 13th. The Foreigner with Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. I don't know. I know, here we go. Excuse me. The Foreigner, Marshall, October 13th.